Okay, Mark, I was not familiar with your game. Because the season 2 finale of Invincible went crazy. And I'm just itching for season 3. I need season 3 more than I need medication. When I tell you I leaned back like Fat Joe because some of the shit I was witnessing, I had to lean back in and I had that LIS syndrome, locked in syndrome. We kicked things off with Nolan beating the shit out of some robot. And then he hits this henchman with the uppercut from death. Bro hit Buddy so hard he turned him into ceiling gum. But all that just to qualify for death. Shit, Nolan had me shadowboxing. He had me feeling like I was... Then we get to Mark confronting Angstrom Levy, who's got his mom in a literal chokehold, the fucking vice grip of death. Get your hands off Debbie before I gotta step in. He finally lets go, and Mark's 3-head ass flies right into a portal, into a universe with talking dinosaurs. But then he throws him into a universe where we got this Doc Ock wannabe Prob Ock fighting Agent Spider. Mom, I want Spider-Man. We got Spider-Man at home. The Spider-Man at home. Anyway, Mark one-taps Prob Ock, and that's our glorious king Josh Keaton returning, Spectacular Spidey. I love they were talking about multi-dimensional shit. He was like, I was just dealing with some shit like that. Agent Spider and Beyond the Spider-Verse? Anyway, Mark gets back, but Angstrom's like, look, brother, you come any closer, I'm gonna send him to the fucking 5th dimension. And then Mark's like, you got me. Tries to talk some sense into him, but he sends him to another universe. And then we get this really sad moment of Angstrom like going back and forth and getting memories from all the different multiverse versions of himself. Like, this is the one universe that Mark is not an asshole and doesn't kill Angstrom and his family. But he's cooked. No, really, he's deep fried. Mark's like, all right, I'm done playing with your games, old man. But Angstrom's like, nah, I'm gonna send you to another universe. Robert Kirkman's like, thank you. Send him to the Walking Dead universe, but we can't call it that. Debbie gets active, holding Oliver like a football. She hits the Heisman on that hoe. But Angstrom stops her by opening up a portal and letting Mark come back through, and they almost run into each other. Which is when Angstrom gets mad. He's like, look, I'm gonna make that motherfucker hurt because he hurt me. But then Debbie starts spitting some facts at him. She's like, this is literally the only universe that Mark's a good person and you're the bad guy. But he didn't like that, not one bit. Bro, he fucking snaps Debbie's arm. I almost punched my screen when he did that. And then he said, fuck them kids. No diddy. Bro was a real menace. Mark ends up with some happy campers, which is ironic because he's a not so happy camper. Batman mentioned. And then he ends up in a Mad Max universe. Furiosa, which is when Angstrom peeks through to try to find him and then Mark just fucking tackles him. But Angstrom's like, ha! I'm a lot stronger now. And then legit starts going to town, ayo, on Mark through different dimensions. Brother, he was hitting Mark so hard, he sent him to a laptop screensaver. PTSD from Nolan. They end up in this barren wasteland universe where my brother in Christ, Mark fucking snaps. I mean, look at him. He ain't even look like a figure. On some Dragon Ball Z shit, he hits Angstrom Levy so fucking hard, he had bro lost. He didn't know which way was up, left, down, right, rep. Nani? Mark hits him with the surprise, mother. And then he starts hitting him with the Omni-Man. You're your daddy's son for show. Think! Angstrom? But bro, Mark really killed Angstrom Levy. He killed someone. He's been fighting the you're your daddy's son allegations the entire season, but now he's really felt like he become him. Yeah, wipe yourself off, Angstrom. You dead. I mean, God. Cecil's boys secure the location to find Debbie. I felt really bad for Mark in the scene when he's just walking amongst the sand being like, I had to kill him. Like, he was justifying the kill. And then he realized, wait, I'm fucking trapped. Back on that Viltrumite jail, they're prepping Nolan for his execution. But the plan has been set in motion by Alan. A future version of the Guardians of the Globe show up to save Mark and send him back to his time. This older version of Eve tells him that she's always loved him. And whether or not he does indeed love Adam Eve or not, he should tell her yes or no. There ain't no way he fumbles this, right? This scene almost got me. Mark reuniting with his mom and her holding him like a kid because of what he did. Damn. And then even Cecil tries to tell him, look, there's nothing you could do. You're not your father. But Mark is going through, he's fighting demons. Kate's alive? I don't read the comics. Stop spoiling this shit for me. Mark has a moment where he just flies as fast, as hard as he can, as he just floats there reminiscent on his life up to this point. Their house starts to get rebuilt. And I really love this conversation between him and his mom. He doesn't know if he has an actual future. Like, being invincible is his future. And then we pick up with Eve chilling on a bridge when Mark shows up and she gives him the biggest hug. She basically just tells him like, you just don't deserve this. You don't. And then they cut to black and I was like, ain't no way. And then we get a scene of Alan trying to convince Omni-Man to come help. And at first he's hesitant, but dog, when he hit the most sincere, I think I miss my wife. Oh shit. 10 out of 10, no notes. Peak television. I need season 3 now, Robert Cookman. Give it to me.